So this is the Shanty that we are rocking with this year. Is the CLAM Nanook XT Thermal. XT stands for extra tall, which is super nice, just giving you a little bit extra space so you don't have to crouch as much or potentially at all. It also gives you a little bit more space for when you're setting those hooks, so you don't end up setting the hook into the roof of the Shanty. First impressions, I like it a lot. Obviously, we haven't had real cold weather yet here in Wisconsin, but it does, I assume that the quilted is obviously going to be a lot warmer than the canvas that I previously had. It does have a ton more space than what my previous Shanty had, so that was one of the main reasons I got it. And I absolutely love the side doors that they have for entry, so you aren't ending up tripping on all of your electronics. So for your side entry, that's what she looks like on the inside. Plenty of room for your electronics, buckets for bait. I do like the seats. They are pretty comfortable. I do wish that they were padded though. You can get an upgraded version to have a little bit more padding. It does get a little bit cold, so you can upgrade them and get the padding for it, but it's an extra charge. So wish that it came with that standard, but obviously it doesn't. The windows are a great size, crystal clear too. So I like that there's more windows so that you don't have to move around so much in your Shanty to try and see your tip ups and whatnot out there. So got plenty of space in the sled too. And then on the back, we also have a entrance just in case you're needing to grab anything from the back of your sled. So that's super nice too. Gives you a little bit more access so you don't have to end up going all the way through the Shanty just to grab something real quick. But overall impressions is I like it a lot. Obviously I haven't used it a ton yet. But with the weather getting much colder here in Wisconsin in the next couple weeks, I'm sure I'll be using it a lot more. So this is what the Shanty looks like from the inside. Putting it together wasn't too bad. There were a couple little hiccups with it, but it didn't take any longer than the other Shanties that I've put together. And I'll go ahead and drop a couple clips of that whole process right now. I have drastically underestimated how long this would take. I don't think there'd be this many parts and bolts to it. I guess I don't remember that on the last one that I had, but so this might be a 2 day project. I think you could probably do it pretty quickly, um, but doing it solo. And I figured they would give you all the equipment to actually put it together, but all they gave you was an Allen wrench. So obviously, you basically need another wrench to go ahead and make sure that everything's tightened down, because doing it with just one is kind of impossible. But we got to partially putting it together, and it isn't hot in the room that I'm in right now, but I am absolutely sweating. So don't know what that really says, but we'll have to keep working on it. We got the first couple of steps done, so that's good. I think for the most part, it's just following the directions. Shouldn't take too long, but longer than I thought it would, that's for sure. I'm not super amped because I have one hoop that is a little bit shorter than the rest. I assume that's the one that kind of props the front open and is the extra tall version. And I also have one hoop that's not cut the same as the rest either. It's a it's off, like the holes for it are off by like a quarter or half inch, so it doesn't sit flush like the rest of them do. But what are you gonna do? So we'll go ahead and put it together. Hopefully it doesn't affect anything, but I guess if it ends up having some sort of issue, I'll probably have to reach out to CLAM. But we're getting there, slowly but surely. The directions don't say that there's supposed to be one that's a little bit shorter than the rest either, so don't exactly, it'd be nice to know. but I am assuming the shorter one is supposed to go in the top. So we'll see. I guess if we're wrong by the end, it'll probably not fit right and we'll have to take it apart and redo it. But we'll keep on. Got the seats all put together. Now it's just to put the tent actually on the Shanty. And I think we're about done. Not too bad. Didn't even take a full Dr. Pepper to get through it all. So, not too shabby. Let's finish her up. Well, putting this the tent on is quite heavy. And it's not the easiest to do by yourself. If you had somebody else, I'm sure it'd be a lot easier. I can attest that it is incredibly warm as far as the tent goes. Doing it inside of a room or a house, I would suggest AC, because I'm sweating like no other. I feel like I need to probably get in a little bit better shape. But nevertheless, she's almost all put together, so that's great. I still have to screw the skirt down to the base. But besides that, she's ready to go. So it wasn't too difficult. Obviously with another person, somebody to help out, probably be wildly easier, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. So that was great. We'll get it out on the ice and get her all popped up and see what she looks like and give final reviews, I guess. So this is what it looks like from the inside. Again, so much space. That was a huge part of why I wanted to get a new Shanty, was just being able to have the opportunity to not have to trip over my electronics and whatnot. Along with that, having the side access doors, I think, gives you so much more space. Just so you aren't having to access the door in the front and trip over your electronics and whatnot. So that was huge for me. One thing I didn't really think about when buying the Shanty was how many windows there were in here. There's 6 windows in here, which I absolutely love. My old Shanty didn't have that many. I think I had 4. Obviously, you get just a ton more light here if that's something that you want. And it just gives you so much more opportunity to be able to see your tip-ups and not have to worry about moving around and trying to, find them out on the ice. So that was a feature that I didn't know that I wanted that is really nice. They have tons of areas for storage up here. They've got storage little pouches on either side, and they do have one on the ceiling also. And then pretty standard, they've all got vents, which are obviously really important if you're running propane heat and whatnot. So just a safety feature for the most part. But first impressions are, I really like it. There's not much more could want in it. I am a little worried about these side braces and the plastic connectors. With the side access doors, I'm kind of worried that somebody's going to step on it at some point in time and bend it or break off that plastic piece. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully they're really durable. But I guess time will tell as far as that goes. But if you guys have any Shanty like this and made any modifications to it that you felt were really helpful or made this even better, by all means, go ahead and drop them in the comment section below. We haven't used this Shanty a ton yet this year just because we haven't had a ton of really cold weather. But with the temperatures that are in the forecast coming up in the future, hopefully we will be using this much more, and it'll be much more needed. So we'll get a little bit better of a review or a feel of how much, we like this, or if there needs to be any sort of modifications. But as always, if you guys like the video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Till the next one.